any of the stories yet?
I haven't.
I read this, I can tell you what it is. So,
Okay.
inflation and Halloween candy.
Okay, sports anchors. You know who the sports anchors are?
I'll move.
Swinging
But,
around. Got it.
probably won't talk about this one because this is like a tragedy.
Okay.
You know any? Oh wait.
Which one do you
Do you know how to say this?
Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes. Okay. I didn't know. I thought I watched the anime.
Okay.
This one's kind of funny. We could talk about that.
The duet restaurant. Buzz Club.
Somebody stole their cardboard cutout of
What?
Taylor Swift. And then and welcome to the TUTV Halloween live stream.
Sarah, we've made it. It has finally come. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I think we are dressed for the occasion. Sarah, what are you?
Today, I am Animal the Muppet.
I think it's a very artistic take on the, I like the costume. It's got a nice aesthetic. As for me, I went straight for it. I haven't worn this costume since I was a freshman in college, and I brought it back out for this occasion. I am the Grinch.
Oh,
So it was
so scary.
I know, right? I try my best. But we've got a lot planned today.
Yes,
I'm
we
really
do.
excited.
What are you most excited for out of all of the things happening today?
Well, based off of last live stream, I think I'm most excited for the tier list. If you were tuned in last year, I had some spirited opinions on our tier list. So now that I'm an anchor, I get to put out my opinions firsthand.
Yes.
So I think that's what I'm most excited for. What about you?
I'm really excited to see the Halloween edition of Adventures of Brad Carson. I'm really thrilled.
It's a fan favorite.
It's one of my favorites, and it's a little bit longer than our normal Adventures of Brad Carson. So it'll be a special treat for all of us. See what's happening over there. And the other thing that I'm really excited for is that we have a pumpkin carving competition live. It's happening right now as we speak in the other room. We've got people carving pumpkins, and I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Me too. Well, I'm pretty sure we've got some scary news and entertainment and sports stories coming up right now.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to cut to that, and we'll be right back with you.
Thank you.
To get late night sweets from the help of the new mobile delivery bots placed all around campus. They even sing a little jingle to him that goes like,
"We got you because you got us. If you ever need anything, you know who to trust. We love you and know you love us. Have a great night. Beep boop bus."
God, I love that beep boop bus sound.
Says Carter as he checks out his order of Sour Patch Kids. 10 minutes goes by when he gets a ding. "Your buddy is outside!" Exclamation point, smiley face. Carter eagerly throws his coat and slides on and hurries outside. As he opens the lobby doors of his dorm building, he sees nothing. He checks his phone again. Refresh. No change at all. It says foodbot number 666 should be outside. After a minute of standing in the December wind, he begins to get frustrated.
Can this school do anything right? First I got 2 papers due by noon on a Friday, and now I gotta deal with this bullshit.
Interrupted by the faint screeching sound of metal on concrete, he looks to his right and sees his buddy slowly approaching him.
Finally? What took you so long?
Exclaims relieved Carter as he walks up to foodbot 666. He reaches into the unlocked mechanical box holding his sweets when the cute white headlights on the bot quickly turn bloodshot red. The bot sinks its metal latches onto his arm and in a distorted robotic voice declares,
"I got you, do not thrust. The age of the food bot is upon us. If you scream, you will turn to dust. The rest of your days are in my beep boop bus."
As it pulls Carter's whole body into the pit where his green Sour Patch Kids package awaits. To be continued.
What's up, TUTV people? It's Avery.
And this Betty.
And we're gonna tell you about Halloween and how it's celebrated around the world.
Halloween is celebrated all around the world on October 31st, and modern day celebration including children dressing up, going down the street, and go trick or treat for some sweet and chocolates.
The origins of Halloween trace back to an annual Celtic pagan tradition called Samhain. This ancient religious celebration marked the end of the harvest and also announced the coming of winter. People would light bonfires and also dress up to ward off ghosts and spirits.
Today, Halloween is celebrated differently depending on the country, so let's find out.
decide what we think is
Hi guys, we're back in the studio. That was quite an adventure. So, as we've seen, Halloween and Day of
The door is open. Bomb Bragg is
take place all around the world in all sorts of different ways. So while the traditional American Halloween experience of dressing up and getting candy and partying is celebrated across the world in countries such as Japan, we also have France and South Korea. We also know that there are countries that have their own holidays that are similar but not exactly the same to Halloween, and they celebrate either the dead or the conclusion of the harvest season.
For example, the Czech Republic, Duchiski includes visiting the cemetery and graves of the departed loved one.
Meanwhile, in China, locals celebrate a festival known as Ten Qi, meaning the Festival of Hungry Ghosts.
This Halloween season, we hope you enjoy the holiday with your friends and your family.
We wish you a happy autumn! Shenanigans!
Hi and welcome back. Me and Joe are going to be doing a Halloween movie tier list. Ooh.
I am so excited for this one. What are some of the ones that you noticed first? Because for me, it's The Shining, Nightmare Before Christmas, and probably The Goonies are what I'm looking at the first.
I agree with The Goonies. That is such a good movie, so rewatchable, such a classic.
Yes.
I love it. For me, it's Goonies, Corpse Bride, Labyrinth, and Rocky Horror are what I'm really looking at.
Well, let's start at the top with Nightmare Before Christmas. While it has Christmas in the title, it is, what do you think? Is it a Halloween movie?
It's both. Okay, see, I think Nightmare Before Christmas, I think the appeal is that you watch it at the very end of of October. You can watch it throughout all of November and December. So it's really a 3-month long movie, which I really like about it. But sometimes I wish it was a little more Halloween-y. Sometimes I don't want to watch it because it's too Christmassy, but sometimes at Christmas I don't want to watch it because it's too Halloween-y.
I think your explanation of it just means it has to go B tier.
Yeah,
B
I
tier.
agree.
I think it just doesn't know what it is completely, so it can't go A. And I don't think it's still a good, solid movie.
Yes.
So I don't think it deserves C, but I think B is just a good middle ground.
I agree.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It's not my favorite.
Oh
no!
That's not what you're supposed to do.
You got this. We have extra tape if we need it.
Okay.
Nice
And then we're gonna move
job.
everything up
Yeah.
without ripping it.
We'll pop this up here.
And here we go. The Goonies. You want to hold that?
Yes.
Okay. And B. There.
Perfect. All right.
Beautiful.
Let's move on. Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus has been on my watch list for a while. I just haven't gotten to seen it. So I don't really, I know the newest one, they tried to do a remake and wasn't very good.
I didn't watch the remake, which I think is kind of revealing about how I feel about it because I love Hocus Pocus. It is a classic. I don't know. I don't watch it every year. My favorite part is Binks the cat. That is like the reason I rewatch it is for the cat.
But is it ruined by the fact that the sequel is just that bad?
I don't know.
Do we keep it in B tier or do we move it to C tier? Or does it deserve A tier? Because it's a classic.
It is a classic. I think the people might hate me for this. Don't be mean in the comments, guys. I think it's C tier.
Okay.
I'm
not gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
I think you want to put it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll move it. It's a great movie. None of these are bad. It's just not the best one.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We move on to Halloween Town. I haven't seen this one. I will come clean now. I don't know which camera I'm looking at. But I'm not a big Halloween person. I've never really liked the holiday. I will put myself out there. So I've seen a good amount of like the scary movies, but the Halloween focused movies, I have not seen. Okay. Unless if Charlie Brown Halloween was up here, I would put that in S tier immediately.
I should have put that one here because I agree. Honorary S tier.
Honorary, honestly. So, but enough about me. Halloween Town. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. I love it. I think it's awesome. I was rewatching it the other day and I forgot how terrible the dialogue is. It is probably the worst dialogue in a movie I've ever heard. However, Debbie Reynolds is in it. We love her. It's a great movie. I think it's very silly.
So it's so cringy, it's good.
It's so cringy, it's good.
B tier?
I think it's B tier, and I
tier.
hate to put it above Hocus Pocus, but I'm sorry. If it's Halloween, I'm watching Halloween Town. I'm not watching Hocus Pocus.
I'll hold on to Alien.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, and now we move on to a movie I have seen and love very, very much. Ghostbusters. We love Ghostbusters.
I love Ghostbusters.
And I think we have our first S tier movie.
I can agree.
S tier?
I can agree.
It's so quotable.
Good.
It's iconic. Bill Murray is just amazing in this movie.
One of the first, I think, Halloween movies that isn't scary. Just like a classic Halloween movie.
I
can really think of.
Is it really a Halloween movie?
It's
I think it's a
year.
movie at any time.
It's
right?
always a movie.
Yeah. So S tier it goes.
Okay, I agree. Where are we at?
We want to go over here now?
Yeah, let's do Alien.
Alien?
I haven't seen Alien.
I've seen Alien. It's another scary movie. It's not really a Halloween movie. But it does the job. If you want a good scary movie to watch in this time of the year, I think Alien, it's got the gore, it's got the, jump scares. Alien starts with A. I think we go
Let's do it.
I think we go A tier.
Put it A tier. Let's move on.
So far, so good. I mean, compared to last year,
equal.
we haven't disagreed on much yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's not a Taylor Swift Halloween movie, so.
Unfortunately.
Next is Corpse Bride. So I love this movie, and Joe, you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I think it is a lot better than Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
The music is incredible. I really love the songs. I think that the color palette that happens is gorgeous, and it is a solid Halloween movie.
Okay.
Like it is only Halloween. So for me, this is probably S or A tier.
I think we got to compare it to everything from now on has to be compared to Ghostbusters. Is it as good and or better than Ghostbusters?
I think it's as good. I think it has the, I don't know. I think it has the same level of I can't think of the word.
If you can't think of the word, then it has to go in A
guess
tier.
it's A tier.
It's got, if you can't describe it very well, then it has to go in A tier.
So
I think
sad.
that is a rule.
Okay, where are we at now? Goonies?
Goonies? Okay, I love Goonies. I don't think it's a Halloween movie.
Really?
I don't. I don't
think
think
it's
it's a
so
Halloween movie.
Halloween-y.
I will agree that it is an amazing movie.
Yes.
I don't think it's a Halloween movie, just like Nightmare Before Christmas isn't really a Halloween
Okay.
movie.
So because it's not a Halloween movie, where do you think it belongs?
I think it deserves high B. Obviously, it doesn't really, we can't really fit it
Yeah, we
on
don't
here.
really have an order.
But I think it's definitely better than Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't think it deserves A. So I think we go B here.
I think it deserves
Hot
A.
take so far. Are we disagreeing?
I think it's A because it's got pirates. It's got a weird-looking guy. People dress up as him for Christmas, or not for Christmas, for Halloween. And like, it's kind of spooky, and it's very like, it's got the dark, you know, like I don't know.
I can
And
compromise.
it's like
I think
kids
we
hanging
can.
out.
I think
Feels-
we can put it A.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That's where it belongs.
All right. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Let's do that.
I think this one's a classic.
It's everyone loves it.
It's got some suggestible content, but I still think it is a must-watch for Halloween.
I really like the interaction people have with this movie. Like, it's so well loved that people dress up as the characters when they go watch the movie, and they do the callbacks, and like they participate with the movie.
It's really
which
just
I think
a
is
ritual.
Really cool.
You know, going to see
It's
it,
a
you really
ritual.
participate in a ritual when you go see this movie.
Yeah.
S? Do I say
I think
S?
it's S.
I think it's S too.
I think we must say S.
I think we say S.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Dude, we're going pretty smoothly.
That's
we're
kind of
doing a
surprising.
pretty good job.
Everyone thought we would really disagree because that's what we tend to do.
Honestly.
Next, Shining.
I love The Shining. I'm impartial to Stephen King. I think he's one of the greatest authors on planet Earth. I personally, I would say S. I think the only thing is it's not really, I think it falls under the Alien category where it's not really a Halloween movie, but it's more of just a scary movie.
Yeah.
I
think it's more Halloween-y than Alien, though, because people are always dressing up as like the twins from The Shining and like all those things. I've never seen it, but I think it's so like culturally recognizable that I know so many things about it. Like I've heard about like the carpet in the hotel. Like people talk about like teeny details like that, and
the
people,
bathtub scene, the elevator
yes.
scene. I think it's just
So where do you think A or S?
I think we can. I think we can go put it A.
Okay.
I think S is reserved for Halloween movies.
Okay.
I know I didn't say that, but I think you just.
I mean,
gotta
it's got ghosts in the title.
I think Ghostbusters. It's
just so good.
Yeah.
It's so iconic.
What do we have left?
We have
Children of the Corn, Labyrinth, and Silence of the Lambs.
Which do you want to do first?
Let's go ahead and put Labyrinth in C tier.
What?
I think we need to go ahead and do that. Get it out of the way. I just.
No.
It is kitschy. I don't think it know what it. I know it. Words. I don't think it know what it is.
Joe, I gotta tell you something. The main character in this movie is named Sarah. She is my namesake. I was literally named after her. And there are also Muppets in that movie. And tonight I'm a Muppet. So for me, this is S tier.
No way. We're not.
This is S tier level. I cannot let you put it in C.
We don't.
I will put it in B. I refuse to put it in C.
But we can't have Hocus Pocus be the only C tier.
We can. I put Children of the Corn as C.
Children of the Corn in C?
It traumatized me as a child.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do, though. Oh no.
Okay, well, where do we got to come back to those.
Yeah,
what
okay.
about Silence of the Lambs?
Silence of the Lambs.
I have no thoughts.
I think it's. You have no thoughts?
I've never seen it.
You've never seen.
I don't like horror.
She is not the person that should be doing this tier list. I think it falls under The Shining. I think you put it A.
You think it's A tier?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's classic. This one traumatized my mom in college, so.
And that's the reason why it should be put there.
This is for you, Suzanne.
I mean, yeah, no. Silence of the Lambs A tier. I don't know if anybody would disagree with me. You could put it S technically with just how quotable it is, but I think A is solid.
Okay.
Okay, Children of the Corn and Labyrinth. I think we put them both B.
Okay.
I think we put them both B.
I think that's a compromise.
And I wasn't the only one to rip paper today.
I've already ripped like 2. Okay, so let's make sure we agree. So do we still think Hocus Pocus is C, or do we want to move something? Because I feel like it's kind of lonely down there, and I feel bad.
Do we put Nightmare Before Christmas C?
I was thinking the same thing.
No, or do we put Halloween Town C?
Oh, no, we put Halloween Town C.
Because I think we would be disrespecting
I think we would.
Nightmare Before Christmas if we put them anywhere lower than B.
Okay. I feel solid about this. I feel
Okay,
good.
just to recap, we got Ghostbusters and Rocky Horror Picture Show in S. Alien, Corpse Bride, Goonies, The Shining, big A tier. Silence of the Lambs in A. Nightmare Before Christmas, Children of the Corn, and Labyrinth in B. And then, of course, Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town. Only the 2 Halloween movies in C.
So if you actually make a Halloween movie, we will rank it the lowest out of all other movies. Sorry, I guess we hate a theme today.
I think we just didn't have good. I think we had too many horror movies and not enough Halloween movies.
Maybe, okay.
Again, if we had Charlie Brown on this list.
We both agree. Charlie Brown
S.
goes above both of these.
Do we have chalk? Do we have chalk?
We do have chalk. Write it on there. It is like gold tier. Gold tier is Charlie Brown.
Did I spell it wrong? No.
No, you spelled Charlie correctly.
Good.
I mean, what other movie does a kid get a bag of rocks for trick-or-treating? It's pretty iconic.
It's a great pumpkin, Charlie Brown. S tier. All right. Are we in agreement?
We're in agreement. Good job.
Great job. All right.
We'll see you in a bit. Welcome to TUTV. Today I'm going to be interviewing Susan Chang, who is an expert on tarot. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a delight to be here.
So can you just tell me a little bit about yourself to start?
Yes. I teach tarot. I write books on tarot. I have a tarot podcast. I do readings for people. So it's kind of all tarot all the time. It's one of many things that I do. Yeah.
Awesome. So, can you tell me a little bit about how you came to practice tarot?
Yes, I was young. I was like in my 20s, right after school, and I just wanted to. I was curious, you know, as people are. I was curious about what this mysterious thing was that, you know, didn't have anything to do with being an educated person who understands the laws of causality, you know, or physics. But yeah, no, I had just a roommate in college who read the cards, and I thought, well, you know, once I was out of school, I thought, why not try?
Yeah.
What harm in it?
That's awesome. I saw like on your website that you said like you bought yourself your first deck from a Barnes & Noble.
I totally did, and so can you.
So I did. Is that like a superstition?
That is a superstition.
Interesting.
Yes, it is, but it's a juicy superstition. Is why, you know, don't buy your own deck. It makes people feel, you know, like there's an aura of mystery around it, and there is an aura of mystery around tarot decks. But it doesn't mean you can't buy your own. You can totally buy your own.
Good to know.
And it's good that you can, because once you have one, you want all the decks.
Yes. So speaking of all the decks, whenever you're buying one, like what are you looking for? What draws you to one?
Well, it's always the artwork, really. You know, I mean, oh my God, there's so many beautiful, beautiful, you know, decks out there. And if there's a talented artist and they do a deck, which is happening more and more often, because the world of artists and the world of tarot readers is like this, you know, I will definitely be interested. And, you know, social media, you know, you see decks on Instagram, you see them on Facebook. But the thing that's weird about tarot is that, like, even if you get a deck that you think is stunning, you know, doesn't mean it works all that well necessarily.
Really?
It might not work for you. So, you know, it's kind of good if you can sort of see somebody else using it first and see if it works for them, see some of the images and see if you relate to them. Sometimes the feel of the deck is also like, doesn't feel good in some ways, but mostly it's about the imagery. If you love the imagery, if you love the style of art, if you understand the messaging in each card from the artist's point of view, and you're okay with that, then it will work. And sometimes the opposite too. Like sometimes you'll see a really ugly deck and it'll work amazing. Like I have a deck from the 70s called the Morgan Greer, which I used to hate because every single one looks like, you know, tattoos on a motorcycle, you know, rider. But, and I thought there are way too many mustaches in this deck. I will never use it, but I kept it sort of like on the back shelf just in case. And over the years, it's become one of my favorite decks. It just reads beautifully, and it seems to know what it's doing. So
that's so. I never even thought about the decks like affecting you in that kind of way.
Yeah,
so whenever a deck works for you, like what does that mean? What does that look like?
It means that it's really clear to me what the meanings are when it's in use. Like, you know, meanings in tarot are a bit fluid. There are some that are universally agreed upon and some that are personal. So, but something about the art, you know, there's something about a good reading deck that the story kind of flows from one card to the next and you can create a narrative out of it. Sometimes they just seem like they're static and they're just sort of each of them staring in their little box, you know, and you can't really read them. So it's, yeah, I guess it's, and you don't really know until you try.
Yeah.
But a good deck, I will usually know, you know, within 30 seconds of looking at the cards I just placed, what the story is and how to explain it in the context of the question.
It's really interesting to like think of you as like not like being a storyteller and like weaving some sort like a narrative. I think that's a really cool aspect that I don't think I really ever thought of before.
It's important, I think, because, you know, it's useful to think of our own lives as stories, and what I sometimes describe what I do as being story surgery. You know, the stories we tell ourselves are not always the most helpful or constructive ones, and what a good tarot reader can do for you is help you change the story.
Interesting. I love that. That's such a like empowering like way to look at it, and like being able to like understand your own story and like how you can change it. That's so cool.
Exactly.
So whenever you're reading for other people, what does that process look like?
Generally, we talk for a little while for me to just kind of understand. Now, there are some readers who will kind of go in without knowing anything, who are a little bit more psychic than me, I think, and will just like start drawing cards and say, okay, this. I prefer to be quite targeted about it and you know, find out what's on the person's mind, the most important thing that's bothering them. Usually it's the thing that they're thinking about when they can't sleep at night. And really just kind of get the specifics of what the person wants to know. Because like they might want to talk about their relationship, but they might not be like, tell me, I might want to say, you know, oh, you know, look at these cards, you obviously should break up, you know, but they may not be ready for that, they may not want to know that, they may just want to know, like, you know, what would be helpful for me right now, or how can I get them to empty the dishwasher, you know? So you try to meet the person where they are.
What's your favorite thing about reading for other people? Like, what do you really enjoy about that?
I like the fact that it's not quite like therapy, but it does a lot of the same things. But what's different about tarot is that it's magical, you know? There's some things that you just can't explain about it, the coincidences and the synchronicity. And I think because of that, it lands more fully with people, or they're more, I mean, there's something about the element of surprise and shock, you know, that allows a message to get through. So for me, coincidences, you know, they are just normal, because that's what tarot is like.
Right.
But for most people, it's kind of surprising when the card's like exactly describing what they're going through, you know, but that's just the way tarot works.
Yeah. Wow, that's so fascinating and exciting. I love that. Yeah. So not only do you read for other people, but you read for yourself. So what does your personal practice look like?
Yeah, so I do a card every day, 2 cards every day. I recommend that anyone who's interested in tarot start by doing that and then do it for the rest of your life. You know, the thing about drawing a card, especially if you do it in the morning, is that it provides kind of like a touchstone for the rest of the day. Because if you track what happens to you as a human being, just an ordinary human being, over the course of the day, you go through so many different moods. There are like moments that are really upbeat, and then there are moments when you're really doubting yourself, and then you get into an argument with someone, or, you know, and then there's moments when you're just not sure, should I do this or should I do that? And then there are moments when you're just kind of like buffering. And like for any one of these moments, it's usually nice to have a second opinion.
Yes.
Right? Often. Like anytime you're like, I wish I didn't feel like this, that's a time that you could go back to your card that you chose in the morning and say, well, what does tarot have to say about this? And more often than not, tarot will be able to reframe the situation in a way that's helpful.
Do you have any idea why, like, even astrology and tarot has seemingly become more popular, or at least a little bit more widely used?
Well, in the case of tarot specifically, I mean, it's such a visual medium.
Yeah.
And I think that social media has really helped with that. I mean, especially on Instagram. Instagram is huge for tarot because, people just want to show what their cards they're drawing or what cards they're creating because, it's huge for artists. So, so I think when people see that, they get curious naturally. And so I think that's driving a lot of it. But I also think that divination in general is countercyclical. In times of uncertainty, people turn to divination. And when have things been more uncertain than they are right now?
Yes.
I mean, probably every generation says that, but I'm 58 years. No, I'm not 58 yet. I'm 54 years old, and I have not seen times as uncertain as this. So.
Yeah, that is the truth. So when looking at the history of tarot, I was researching this a little bit myself, and I saw that it started out as a card game.
Indeed.
And it has now evolved into a way of looking at what's going on in your life. So can you tell me a little bit about the history, how the switch happened?
Absolutely. Tarot and playing cards really grew up together. It's all because of the invention of paper first.
Yes.
Paper was invented in China and then it came across the Silk Road. And then the invention of printing in the 1400s. So really, once the very first tarot decks were actually painted, not printed. They're beautiful, like this big or so, little miniature works of arts from northern Italy and from 1440, something like that. But after the advent of printing, these beautiful things started, being reproduced on wood blocks, and then you could make tons of them. So playing cards and tarot cards, kind of grew up together and didn't really diverge until a little bit later. But in fact, if you look at the playing card tradition and the tarot card tradition, it's still related. You can see that. There's 4 suits, and swords are spades. They all correlate. So, but fortune telling didn't really happen until the 18th century. What happened was that tarot had, by this time, become a playing card game across Europe, but it had kind of vanished from the more cosmopolitan areas of France. So it was still being played as a card game in the rural parts of France. And when the Parisians discovered this card game, they were like, oh, this is ancient wisdom from Egypt. Definitely, I'm sure. So they started making up all these myths about it, that it was handed down from the god of, God Thoth from Egypt, that there was relationships with the Hebrew Kabbalah, and they came up with all of these ways of tying magical systems into the cards.
Wow.
So, and also that was also the same time when people started doing fortune telling with regular playing cards. So it was really an 18th century phenomenon. And then, because human beings love secrets, that just never went away. Fortune telling has continued being kind of always popular, sometimes above ground, sometimes underground, always slightly sketchy art.
That is so cool. When I was looking at your website, I saw that you are interested in 17th century textiles from France.
Yes.
And that super interested me because I've been taking printmaking classes here at TU for a couple of years.
Wow.
And so I thought that was so cool that
it's
that
really
aligns.
interesting. Same technology in the Provençal prints as in the original Marseille decks. Yeah, I have a dream of going to Provence someday and seeing the textile and tarot museums in the same day.
Yes, that would be such a great little day trip.
It's interesting.
Oh my gosh, you see everything all together.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Hi guys, we are here for pumpkin check-ins. So, Hulk Hogan, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, brother. Currently, I am making a Jason Voorhees pumpkin from Friday the 13th, and I'm pretty proud of it so far.
That looks pretty good.
Thank you very much, brother.
What about you, cowboy?
I'm making just like a little dude. It's like a kitty cat guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going swell.
Wonderful. And what do we got over here, Dr. Eggman?
We have Garfield, not my arch nemesis, but Garfield.
All right, show the camera. Show the camera.
Camera, my bad.
Yeah, that looks wonderful. All right, we're gonna be periodically checking in with our contestants to see how they're doing. See you guys.
Hey, what's up? Happy Halloween. Welcome to TUTV. I'm Avery.
And I'm Roma. We got some spooky news for you guys this week, so let's jump right in.
Purchasing Halloween candy this year may not be spooktacular, with inflation in the double digits for candy and gum. Prices for these items have increased by an average of 13% compared to last October. This not-so-sweet development has led many U.S. shoppers to buy less Halloween candy for trick-or-treating than previous years. The candy inflation is a multifaceted issue. For one, the cost of the cocoa has reached record highs following heavy rains in West Africa, which limited production. Meanwhile, global sugar prices are at a 12-year highs, as India is restricting sugar exports in order to stabilize prices following poor cane yields.
This past Sunday in Seoul, South Korea, a massive memorial service was held in re-embrace of the deadly crowd crush on Halloween a year prior. To commemorate the anniversary, victims' families visited the Intowell area to lay flowers in the alley where the surge took place. The disaster claimed 159 lives, and the relatives of the victims and their supporters are demanding an independent investigation into the tragedy. Currently, most of the 23 charged officials are still on the trial. For this year's Halloween season, increased precautions and safety procedures have been implemented. A crowd control drill was exercised prior to the crush anniversary, and Halloween celebrations were subdued across South Korea. Additionally, many Korean citizens have decided to, quote, spend this year's Halloween quietly due to last year's incident, end quote.
Tokyo's Shibuya district, a center for youth fashion and culture in Japan, has become a popular site for Halloween celebrations. This year, however, the city discourages large street events throughout the Halloween season. The ban was made after considering the impact of the newest installation of the popular anime, Jujutsu Kaisen. The massive hype surrounding the show's Shibuya arc has led Japanese government officials to fear a Halloween stampede disaster, similar to what occurred in Seoul, South Korea last year. Shibuya Mayor Ken Hasabe said in an interview with the Associated Press, quote, it's time to reconsider partying on public streets for Halloween, end quote. A Sydney ordinance has been put in place banning alcohol consumption in the district near the station between October 27th and October 31st.
The Duet Restaurant, a modern American restaurant and jazz club in downtown Tulsa, rejoiced after their stolen cardboard cutout of Taylor Swift was returned. The celebrity standee was stolen last Thursday, and the staff were deeply distressed. On Duet's Instagram, a plea was posted for Cardboard Taylor's safe return. The caption read, quote, she's out there, somewhere, probably hungry, cold, and scared. Please return her, end quote. Mysteriously and miraculously, Taylor was returned the following afternoon, along with a cardboard cutout of Chief Meteorologist for News on 6, Tulsa, Travis Mayer. Restaurants, staff, customers, and Swifties everywhere are relieved that such a horrible shock ended as soon as it began.
The National Weather Service in Tulsa implemented a freeze warning for Monday and Tuesday morning through 9 a.m. The lowest temperatures ranged 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
The Tulsa Fire Department reports that they have responded to over 220 emergency calls in the past 24 hours as temperatures continue to drop. They responded to house fires, 1 apartment fire, and 8 carbon monoxide incidents. Generally, the majority of fires were the result of individuals maintaining heat through various methods, including furnace heaters and HVAC units. Some tips to keep in mind as Tulsa enters the winter season include occasionally dripping faucets to prevent pipes from freezing, or, alternatively, heat up frozen sections of pipes before usage.
So Roma, that
Yes.
Taylor Swift news.
Man.
Now I gotta ask, if that happened to you, if someone stole your cardboard cutout of Taylor Swift, I mean, what would you do?
I mean, personally, I'm not taking that. It would consume every waking moment that I'm alive, so I would not rest until I found that person. I think that's what I would do, Avery, and I have to ask, what would you do?
You know, I'm thinking that I might commit homicide over that.
I agree with that statement.
For legal reasons, of course,
Legally,
that's a joke.
it's
but
a joke.
it is Halloween. You never know what will happen. But we'll catch you next time.
Stay safe.
What would you like to read about? What's on your mind?
Let's see. So on my mind a lot recently, I've been having a kind of difficult semester. I'm involved in a lot of things. A lot of people have been telling me I need to quit doing some stuff.
Scale it back.
And I need to scale it back. Like I haven't had a lot of time for myself. I haven't been able to pursue any hobbies. And so whenever I get home from school and I'm not working on homework, I just sit around. I don't actually get to do things that I love to do. I don't read. I just sit on my phone and don't have a good time.
That's tough. I mean, just being in school, there's so many pressures at once. Yeah. Okay, so why don't we do this? I think the very best way to sort of get a toe wet with tarot is to ask a single question and then draw a single card. So what we're going to do, the sort of standard form question that I tell people is to ask, what do I need to know about X? So not what should I do or what shouldn't I do, but what do I need to know that would be useful for me to know about X? And in your case, it sounds like the question would be, what do I need to know about my ridiculous workload, my overcommitment, my sense of being overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so let's do this. What I'd like you to do, so you can do this with me. You can sort of, yeah. And what I'd like you to do is kind of channel that feeling of being kind of overwhelmed and frustrated and I don't know what to do and avoidant. Okay, and when you've got that, it's only for a second, although it'll be terribly uncomfortable, then imagine that feeling sort of lifting and feeling relief and peace and order. And then go ahead and choose a card face down. Okay. You can use your eyes, you can use your sense of touch, you can do it any way that you like. Good. All right. This is known as the 6 of Pentacles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my giant 6 of Pentacles here so that everyone can see it. And okay, so there's a number of ways of reading this. But the first thing I'm going to tell you is that it has a formal title, which is the Lord of Success.
Whoa, very cool.
Yeah, most people are very happy to see the Lord of Success. Now, but what's really interesting about the imagery on the card is that you see a scales over here, and you see coins over here. This person who is very successful is sort of doling out, to these people in need, his wealth, and he's doing well. They're not doing so well, and one of the things I think we see here is, of course, the need to weigh carefully the resources you have. I don't know if you've ever heard of spoon theory, which is like this, very common in the mental health sector, which is that we each have a limited number of spoons, currency, I guess, to use for what we have available for the day. So you want to dole out your spoons carefully, and you may, somebody may be asking you to take on another responsibility and you're like, I don't have the spoons for that, right?
Yeah.
So this is about weighing out what you have. But having enough also to give to others.
Right.
So, you know, the two are combined. Like, it is through this process of weighing for yourself that you have enough to give to others. So I think there's a sense in this card that success will come because it wouldn't have shown up otherwise, whatever success means, right? And I think the scales in here tell us that for you, it's up to you what you define as success, not anybody else, right? And you could decide, okay, it's okay to let these classes go, you know, but this is really important to me, and I'm going to invest a lot in that. I have enough to give for that, not only for myself, for other people's. So, so I think that you will find that you do have the capacity to do this. Another thing about this that is something I've come to learn over the years about the Six of Pentacles is that it has to do with the right time to do something, like time being ripe. So, so, you know, it may be very hard to cram for the exam at 3 in the morning, but it might be easier the next day at 7 a.m. Right?
Yeah.
You know? So it's about picking the right time and matching it to the activity that you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is really good advice and very on the nose. You were right about the surprise and it being like, whoa. And it's just a card that I grabbed. You know?
Just, you chose it. I
That's
did not.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
That's
thank you
just
so
the way
much
it
for
works.
talking to me.
You're so
Thank you for
welcome.
reading for me. That was really awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'll be thinking
Tarot
about that
all the
week.
time. Everyone should read tarot. Every single person in the whole world.
I really enjoyed it. I think that was super fun. Maybe I'll go buy a deck for myself.
Yes. Do it.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much.
Hello, welcome to the TUTV Halloween live stream. I'm Banana.
And I'm Roma. We got some spooky, scary stories for you guys with sports. Let's get right into it. What happens when you inject a man from Wrigley Field in 1945 for coming into a game with a stinky goat? The Chicago Cubs got a curse on them from preventing from winning another World Series. After the people at Wrigley tossed out Bill Sanis, owner of Billy Goat Tavern, from the game, he was livid. He told the world that the Cubs weren't going to win anymore. Turns out he was right, as the Cubs have suffered many trials and tribulations since Sanis initiated the curse. The collapse of 1969, the 1984 team losing to San Diego Padres. The curse was finally broken in 2016 when the Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians to win their first championship in 107 years.
The Detroit Lions have long suffered since they traded former quarterback Bobby Lane in 1958. At the time of the trade, Lane was 31 years old and management wanted to move on from the guy who helped them win back-to-back championships a few seasons earlier. After being traded, Lane was quoted saying that the Lions wouldn't win for 50 years. Over the first 50 years he was traded, the Lions had the worst winning percentage in football. They also have never played in a Super Bowl, and the curse technically expired in 2008, but the Lions haven't been able to do much since.
In December of 1920, Notre Dame football star George Gipp passed away just days after the team beat Northwestern. It is said that he contracted pneumonia and passed away from the illness. Years later, President Ronald Reagan played Gipp in the film Newt Rocky, All-American, and would go to win the famous "Win just one for the Gipper" line he was used when running for office. In the years that followed, there have been stories about his ghost haunting the Notre Dame campus. Whether they are true or just a bunch of gossip, it further enhances the legacy of the Gipper.
In November 1999, the News of the World reported that Liverpool were ready to spend €3.5 million on French U21 Didier Baptiste. The Reds had supposedly beat off competition from Arsenal to sign the acclaimed defender who was due in an international call-up. The next day, the Times and the Guardian picked up the story and stated that Liverpool were overpaying, only valuing the Frenchman at 1 million euros. Even Club Call, an information source which you could phone at a rate of 60p a minute to find out transfer rumors, said that Liverpool were ready to sign the youngster. Well, there's only one issue. He wasn't real. Baptiste was a fictional character in Sky One's Dream Team football soap drama that aired until 2007. The story was reported after the news of the world were tipped off by someone who, incredibly, believed the show was real.
And perhaps the most famous of sports curses, the Red Sox decision to sell Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1920 brought down an 83-year championship drought. Before the trade, the Red Sox had won 5 World Series. From the Yankees, none. From the trade to 2003, the Yankees won 26 series, the Sox 0. The curse's reputation was enhanced by the Red Sox repeatedly coming close and falling short. The team made 4 World Series appearances in 46, 67, 75, and 86. Each went to the 7-game series, the full 7-game series. In 1986, the Red Sox were 1 out away from winning the series in 6 games when the tying run scored on a wild pitch. The curse finally ended in 2004. First, the Red Sox beat the Yankees in the American League Championship Series despite losing the first 3 games. They then swept the Cardinals in the World Series. That's some good spooky information.
Of course,
sports.
Yeah. But some really unfortunate and kind of scary sport that's being played right now is hockey. The unfortunate news was named Adam Johnson.
Yes.
He unfortunately had a skate to his neck, which ended his life. It's very unfortunate and it's very scary, but
sad news in the hockey field right now.
For sure, yeah, especially a sport that like Canadians and a bunch of everybody that loves to play. Really unfortunate news, but to conclude, I'm Banana.
Roma.
And we'll see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Michael, and today I'm going to be interviewing Tallulah. Yes, is this what we're doing now? I'm interviewing Tallulah. Why did I draw the straw? Yeah, so I'm going to be asking some questions because I guess this is what modern journalism has come to. We're interviewing ghosts. So yeah, so Tallulah, how have you been? Looking fit as always. And what are we doing here? Like, come on. I'm interviewing a ghost. Like, what is this? Seriously. How's your day been, Tallulah? Why did I say this? Hello.
Okay, are we back? All right, okay, good. Let's go ahead and take it back to camera 2. All right, cue talent.
Today we're in the home of TUTV, Kendall Hall. We'll be checking. Ready? So Stephen believes in Tallulah, the ghost of Kendall Hall.
Oh, man, I've been in here at 3 a.m. Place is creepy as hell, and definitely, oh god.
What'd you find?
Nothing at all. Just something to help with the ghost hunting.
There's a basement. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did you do that?
What do you want?
Sock puppet. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah. This is what I get. This is what I get for not doing the Secret Santa. All right. Well.
Hello and welcome to Trick or Trivia, the TUTV Halloween trivia game. My name is Sarah Moore and I will be your host today. And I have my co-host Tallulah. Isn't she looking lively today? I'm so glad to have you in the studio today, Tallulah. How are you doing? So great. I always love listening to her regaling stories. All right, well, let's go ahead and meet our contestants.
Hi, I'm Hunter Lynn. I'm a TU graduate, the class of 1997. I worked in a meatpacking plant in my 20s, and now I'm an executive at a nonprofit providing homes to children born without stomachs. In my spare time, I read old copies of Foreign Affairs magazine while drinking lukewarm black coffee.
My name is Glenn Gutierrez. I'm a film studies student at the University of Tulsa, and I make The Adventures of Brad Carson, commonly seen on TUTV.
I am Michael. I moved here from Canada when I was 6 years old. I got my first job at the age of 4, and I'm on track to graduate from TU in the year 2035.
Alrighty, thank you guys for that welcome. I'm so excited to see how you guys do today. So let me just explain the rules. First, we will start off with Hunter, and I will give him a question. Depending on whether he gets the answer correct or not, we will move on. If Hunter gets it incorrect, then Glenn will have the chance to steal for half points. Each question is worth 10 points. If he's not able to get the question, then we will move right along to Michael, who will get also the chance to steal. And finally, if no one gets the question right, we will move on to the next question and we'll rotate around the 3 contestants. Alrighty, let's start with our first question. Hunter, what do you call a group of witches?
Would that be a coven?
That is correct. 10 points to Hunter. Very nice job. Glenn, are you ready?
Yeah.
Who wrote the 1818 classic Frankenstein?
Mary Shelley, daughter of Mary Wollstonecraft.
Wow, that is 10 points to Glenn. And let's add in an extra 2 points for knowing some more fun facts about Mary Shelley. So we have Glenn at 12 points. All right, Michael, are you ready?
Ready as I can be.
Can you tell me where the word Halloween came from?
Ooh, I believe it came from the eve before All Hallows Day.
That is correct. Good job. 10 points to Michael. Now we will going back to Hunter. Can you tell me the rest of the spooky Shakespeare line? Double, double.
Toil and trouble?
Very nice job. Another 10 points for Hunter. Next, Glenn, can you tell me how many pieces of candy does the average household give out to each trick-or-treater?
7.
That is incorrect. Michael, swoop in and score 5 points if you can get this.
I'm going to go with 2.
That is correct. 5 points to Michael. Very nice job. We live in a much stingier world than Glenn would like to live in. Michael, it's your turn. For 10 points, can you tell me what is predicted to be the most popular Halloween costume this year?
I'm going to guess Walter White.
Not at all. Not even close. Hunter, swoop in for 5 points.
Barbie?
Yes, that is correct. 5 points to Hunter. Alrighty, Glenn. What do people traditionally bob for at Halloween?
Apples.
That is correct. 10 points to Glenn. Next we have, for Michael, is a pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable?
Ooh, because the seeds are on the inside, it is a fruit.
Very nice job. 10 points to Michael. Alrighty, Hunter. In the classic Halloween movie, Charlie Brown, It's a Great Pumpkin, What does Charlie Brown receive while trick-or-treating?
A rock?
That is correct. Very nice job. Alrighty, Glenn, next for you. Guess the costume. It is an astronaut with a green belt and a patch that says Space Ranger.
Buzz Lightyear.
That is correct for 10 points. Next question, Michael. Can you tell me what this costume is? A purple dress with a long blonde braid.
Long blonde braid. I'm going to guess Rapunzel?
That is correct. You guys have your Disney knowledge all together. Alrighty, one more guess the costume. This one's for Hunter. A hockey mask, a machete, and a brown jacket.
Jason?
That is correct. Do you know the last name?
Voorhees.
Yes. Oh, let's give Hunter 2 extra points for knowing the last name of that character. Alrighty, Glenn. I will have you finish the lyric. Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
That is correct. Michael, can you tell me what album does the Taylor Swift song Haunted come from?
Ooh, I can't say I'm a Swift fan myself. I believe she had an album called Red, so I'm going to go with that one.
That is an album, but it is not the correct album. Hunter, do you know what album the song Haunted appears on?
Folklore?
Also a Taylor Swift album, not the correct one. Glenn, you're our last chance.
1989.
Also a Taylor Swift album, but it's not correct.
Those are all the ones we know.
The correct answer is Speak Now. Glenn, can you tell me the name of the Irish band that sings the song Zombie?
The Cranberries.
Nice job. That is one of my favorite bands. Very good song. Everyone go listen to Zombie by the Cranberries
Solid
if you
song.
hadn't yet.
Adam Sandler.
That is correct. It is Adam Sandler. Next question for Hunter. Can you tell me what is the most disliked Halloween candy?
Candy corn?
That is correct. Alrighty, we're going to take it to Michael. Can you tell me what iconic outfit that Michael Jackson wears in his music video for Thriller?
I believe it's something with red, but I'm blanking. Red.
That is true.
Jumpsuit, maybe?
No, we'll give you 2 points for getting the color red. Hunter, can you tell us what item it is?
Is it a red hat, Sarah?
It is not a red hat. And finally, Glenn, do you know what item of clothing Michael Jackson wears?
It is a red leather jacket.
That is correct. Very nice job. 5 points to Glenn. Alrighty, our next question is going to be for Hunter. Can you tell me the name of the dog in the hit movie Coco?
Is it Pablo, Sarah?
It is not Pablo. Glenn, do you know the name of the dog?
Is it Pedro?
Not even close. Michael, do you know the name of the dog?
I can't say I do. I'm disappointed in myself.
I'm disappointed in all 3 of you. His name is Dante. Bonus points to anyone who knows why his name is Dante.
From Dante's Inferno.
That is correct. Alrighty, let's take a look at the scores, get a little score update. We have Hunter still in the lead with 62 points, Glenn at 59, a close second, and Michael last with 52 points, sadly. But doing good. I'm proud of you, Michael. You're doing a good job today.
Glad someone is, because my parents aren't.
Wow. Do you want to get into that, Michael?
You know, I just came from therapy, so it's a little fresh on the mind. I'm gonna hold off for now, but if you invite me back to next year's game show, I will gladly delve into it with you, Sarah.
Wow. Thank you for that. Let's give him 8 points, just for some honesty, for supporting therapy. I really love to see it. It makes my heart happy. What do you think, Tallulah? Do you think 8 points is fair? Yeah, of course she does. Alrighty. Hunter, can you tell me what famous ride at Disney is Halloween themed?
The Tower of Terror?
That is correct. 10 points to Hunter. Glenn, can you tell me how many colors are in a bag of M&Ms?
5.
That is incorrect. Michael, can you tell me?
6.
That is correct. 10 points to Michael. Alrighty, Michael, your last question. How is the mystery flavor of the Dum Dum Sucker made?
Ooh, I don't know, but I'm gonna go with my gut. They take a little bit of every flavor and just mix it up in one large bowl, witch cauldron style.
That is pretty much correct. So we'll still give you the 10 points. What they actually do is they take 2 flavors, the leftovers, mix them together to create the mystery flavor. Alrighty, contestants, let's take a look at your points before we do our last question of the night. Hunter with 72, Glenn with 59, and Michael with 80. So the way this last question will work is that you will all have the chance to answer in a row. So I will say the question, you all have a moment to think, and we'll go down the line, you say your answer. You can wager your points. So knowing the amount of points that you have, you can wager all of them, you can wager half of them, but if you get it wrong, you lose those points. Alrighty, let's see how many points each of you are wagering, starting with Hunter.
70 points.
59 points.
30 points.
Amazing. Okay, your question is, what is the name of Dr. Frankenstein's assistant? Alrighty, Hunter, what is the name of Dr. Frankenstein's assistant?
Igor?
Glenn, what is the name of Dr. Frankenstein's assistant?
I was also going to say Igor.
And finally, Michael, what is the name of his assistant?
I honestly had no idea. Charlie.
Charlie. If only his name was Charlie. I truly do wish. The correct answer was Igor. Can I see the final total for this game? Hunter with 142, Glenn with 98, and Michael with 50. Hunter, congratulations. You are the Trick or Trivia winner. Would you like to see your prize?
I would.
Hunter, your prize is a branded pair of TUTV sweatpants. Here's the front. And the best part, the back.
Oh my God.
Would you like to model for us?
A wonderful gift, although a sense of taste would be better, Sarah.
Should I take points off for that, or is that cheating?
I'll take the pants.
Our new winner is Glenn. Good job. Come and model your prize.
My name is Glenn Gutierrez, and I love TUTV.
A final round of applause for our winner, Glenn. Thank you for joining us tonight at Trick or Trivia. We'll see you later.
The state of Oklahoma is no stranger to bumps in the night and tales of mysterious local creatures and phenomenon, with sightings of the mythical Bigfoot dating back to 1970. Today, we are going to cover and explore 2 of the most eerie and spooky ghost stories and urban legends in one of Oklahoma's biggest cities, Tulsa. The Hex House. The legend behind the haunting of the Tulsa Hex House dates back to 1944, in which a woman named Carol Ann Smith occupied a house at 10 East 21st Street. Smith lived a comfortable life, owning lots of hats, makeup, and plenty of food. She became the talk of the neighborhood and then eventually the town, as rumors began to circulate about her suspicious behavior and the 2 dazed, almost memorized women that were seen living with her. Neighbors noticed Smith digging suspicious holes in her backyard at night, while others heard screams emanating from the house. There were also rumors surrounding the death of her husband, Faye, in 1934, which was ultimately ruled a suicide. The following year, in 1935, Smith's maid, Balula Walker, was struck and killed by a car while fleeing from her employer's home. Large life insurance policies were taken out on both Smith's late husband and Walker. One day, neighbors called the cops to report on the suspicious behavior of Carol Ann. When they arrived, they found that Smith had been digging in the backyard in order to bury 2 caskets, although they were found to be empty. They also found the 2 women living with Miss Smith, who were identified as Virginia Evan, 31, and Nell Willetta Honer, 30. The pair were found in the basement of Smith's home. It was there that the two women lived in squalor and filth. They slept inside of orange crates in the dark and unheated basement. Authorities learned that the two women had been living with Carol Ann for 5 to 7 years. They left the house to go to work every day and returned promptly afterwards, surrendering their entire paycheck to Carol Ann. The women claimed that they chose to stay with Miss Smith in hopes of an eternal life, as promised by Carol Ann. Throughout their time in the infamous house, they were barely fed any food. Virginia and Willetta displayed strange behavior when speaking to authorities. They acted as Carol Ann's religious slaves, believing their efforts and obedience would lead to great rewards, as promised by their captor. Many believed Smith had placed the two women under hypnosis or some kind of hex. Many believed Smith intended to take out life insurance policies on the two women, as it was believed that she had done with her husband and maid. The night the police arrived, they took Smith into custody, but she was never charged with murder but did do some jail time following the investigation. After her release, she fled from the state. The house became a popular spooky site for the following decades. Teenagers would visit the site until it was torn down in 1975. However, the basement allegedly remained untouched, and it is still believed to be intact underneath a paved parking lot. While the original Hex House was demolished, its legend lives on in the city's annual Hex House Haunted Attraction, one of the scariest Halloween haunted houses in the state. The Gilcrease Museum. The Gilcrease Museum is believed to be haunted by a few different spirits, one of them being Mr. Thomas Gilcrease himself. William Thomas Gilcrease was born in 1890 to William Lee and Mary Elizabeth. His mother was of Creek Native ancestry, and Thomas spent his childhood on tribal lands. In 1913, Thomas was seeking a home for his growing family in the boom town of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He came across a property with a sandstone house and a wraparound porch perched upon a hill. He purchased the home along with about 80 acres. Following this, Mr. Gilcrease took some time to travel around the world, particularly Europe. He was inspired by the historical museums and decided to start his own collection, which mostly consisted of Native American art. In 1943, Mr. Gilcrease opened the Museum of the American Indian in San Antonio, Texas. Meanwhile, the stone house in Tulsa was temporarily utilized as an orphanage for Native American children. Gilcrease continued to expand his collection and hired Alexandra Hogue to design a museum on the property in Tulsa. In 1949, he opened the Thomas Gilcrease Institute of American History and Art. Following his death in 1962, many believe that his spirit still remains on the property in order to overlook his treasured collection. Staff have confirmed seeing him around the building, as he makes his presence known by slamming doors. People have also reported the sound of his footsteps. There have also been reports of ghostly Native American children roaming the grounds. They have been spotted playing in the garden, and people often say that they have heard their laughter when nobody else is around. There are at least 7 spirits in the museum, all of whom are known to be friendly. Other phenomena reported inside include temperature fluctuations, technical malfunctions, and banging noises coming from the 2nd floor of the museum. Today, the museum is managed by the University of Tulsa, but is still owned by the city.
Hey there, welcome to TUTV. I'm Marvin.
And I'm Banana Man. Hey, we have some jaw-dropping entertainment this week. Let's jump right into it. Celebrity chef and former Food Network star Michael Ciarento, at age 61, passed away due to an acute allergic reaction that led to anaphylactic shock this past week. Ciarento, known for his culinary brilliance, creativity, and commitment to family, left a, quote, profound legacy in the world of cuisine. His family mourned his loss, emphasizing his role in bringing people together through shared meals and lasting memories. Born in 1962 in Red Bluff, California, Ciarento opened up his first restaurant, Tia Vigni, in Napa Valley in 1967 and went on to establish other renowned restaurants. During his career, Ciarento hosted shows on PBS, Food Network, Fine Living, and the Cooking Channel, including the Emmy Award Easy Entertainment with Michael Ciarento. He also appeared multiple times as a guest chef on Today and The View.
Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce has noticed a significant change in his brother Travis Kelce's life since he started dating music superstar Taylor Swift, according to an article released by People magazine this Monday. In the article, it is stated that while Jason is happy for his brother and his genuine relationship with Taylor, he's concerned about the intense paparazzi attention that has come with it. He acknowledges that it's reached a, quote, unprecedented level and is somewhat overwhelming, end quote. Jason shared an example of paparazzi photographing Travis while he was fueling his car, a level of stardom football players typically don't experience. Paparazzi have been camped outside his home, and NFL games he plays in now receive different coverage on TV due to his Taylor's presence at all of his matches.
Tom Bergeron's recent departure from Dancing with the Stars can be traced back to his preference for keeping the show, quote, politically neutral. In 2019, he had urged against casting anyone with political affiliations ahead of a contentious election year. Despite the initial agreement with show executives, the casting of Sean Spicer, former press secretary for President Donald Trump, led to Tom's frustration and a sense of betrayal, according to the interview. Tom had even suggested taking the season off, but was met with resistance from the show's producer. He parted ways with Dancing with the Stars in 2020, marking the end of his 15-year run as host. Tom expressed gratitude for the experience and friendships, but laminated the casting decision that ultimately led to his departure. ABC and the show have not commented on the matter. Dancing with the Stars continued without him, entering in its 32nd season this following year.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's wax figure at the Musée Grévin in Paris, France, is undergoing a makeover following criticism that it portrayed him as too light-skinned. Johnson himself joined the conversation surrounding the controversial sculpture, expressing his intent to work with the museum to update his wax figure, particularly focusing on his skin color. The museum has since acknowledged the need for improvements and described the figure as, quote, work in progress, end quote. The controversy arose from the accusations of whitewashing Johnson's image, as the actor has a multi-ethnic background with a Black Nova Scotian father and Samoan mother. The museum sculptor, Stefan Bayrai, had relied on photos and videos to create the statue as accurately as possible without direct access to the international star. This move reflects the museum's commitment to addressing concerns and ensuring a more faithful representation of Dwayne Johnson in his wax figure.
An off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot, Joseph David Emerson, faces 83 counts of attempted murder charges for attempting to shut down a plane's engines during a flight. He told investigators he had taken psychedelic mushrooms and had not slept for 40 hours. Emerson expressed remorse and admitted he had, quote, messed everything up and had, quote, accidentally tried to kill everybody, end quote. He now faces federal charges of endangering a flight crew in addition to the courts filed in Multnomah County, including 83 felony counts of attempted murder. Emerson remains in custody in Multnomah County and is expected to appear in court.
Well, Mr. Banana Man, those are some interesting news stories, but I gotta say on that last one, flying an airplane high, and you know, whenever you are driving drunk under the influence, you get a DWI. What do you get when you're on psychedelic mushrooms and flying a plane?
Well, I don't know what it's called, but I mean, at least in legal terms, they're just going to count that as attempted murder, but I digress. But
well, moving on. Do you have any plans this Halloween?
Currently, I think me and my buddy Jason, last name Voorhees, is gonna go out, maybe do some slight trick or treating. You know, the usual. I mean, something slight. But what about you, Marvin?
I might do some stalking, but other than that, I believe that's all the time we have today. So we'll catch you later, or we won't.
It's the Brad Carson Adventures Halloween Special, featuring Brad, Goldie, Gus T, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, John Maybe, Chucky, Freddy Fazbear, Lottie Jane Maybe, and so much more.
Disclaimer, many of the characters just mentioned fall under copyrighted material and will not be actually featured in the episode. Sorry about that.
Okay, the president wants us to build a giant Gus T statue. The only problem is he didn't tell us where to put it.
Oh, how about here, in open space at the old U?
Perfect. I see nothing wrong with this plan. It's not like we're gonna build a giant statue that separates the portraits of John Mabie and Lottie Jane Mabie from looking at each other, causing their ghosts to manifest themselves and seek revenge for our careless construction efforts. Or something like that.
Don't be stupid. Ghosts aren't real.
Then how do you explain that?
Jeepers, Goldie. There sure are a lot of spooky things happening around campus this time of year. I've even heard there's a ghost causing trouble somewhere on campus.
Rare! This is even rarer than the score of the football game last week.
We need to get to the bottom of this before anything else happens. It's
It's the roast of Ron Raby!
Run for it! Wait, did we even check if that ghost was chasing us? Hold on a sec. This isn't the ghost of John Mabie. It's just a hologram of a ghost. Look, you can see the projector right there.
Wait, there's someone operating the projector.
Former president of the University of Tulsa, Clancy Gerard.
That's right. The history of this school needs to be preserved. I don't want anything built between John Mabie and Lottie Jane Mabie Hall. We aren't supposed to do that.
You're right, former president. We will not build a giant Gus T statue between these two buildings.
Okay, now that's better.
But we are still gonna have to arrest you.
What? Why?
For campus tomfoolery.
Oh, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling president and your dog, too.
Ooh, Goldie, Goldie, goo!
Back, guys. That's my favorite Adventures of Brad Carson yet. What did you think, Joe?
I've seen quite a few episodes. I think that one was probably my favorite, purely because it made fun of our football team.
Yeah, Joe, I will confirm, laughed very hard when that happened. My favorite part, personally, was the appearance of previous president Clancy.
Sean,
he tried to get rid of all the things that I love.
And he did. And put us in debt. And well, we won't get into that. That's too scary for Halloween.
Ooh, Clancy.
Right? Yeah.
Also, we love to see, of course, there has always been the reference of Goldie, talking in the Scooby-Doo voice. So I love to see an episode that is completely inspired from Scooby-Doo. So
Just
that
takes a little bits and pieces. Creative, what do they say? Creative liberties. That's
Creative liberties. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So let's introduce what we're doing next, Joe.
What are we doing next? Are we looking at pumpkins, per se?
We are looking at pumpkins. They are finishing up in the other room. We've been looking in and checking in on them ourselves this entire time.
We've been doing a slight bit of heckling as well, but we won't talk about that.
No, we're totally very nice to them. We weren't bullying them at all for their pumpkin-making skills.
Are we going to get a look at it?
We're going to get a look at them soon. We're still waiting. We're giving them a few more minutes, and then we will head over into that room.
Pick it up, guys. Come on.
But yeah, our cameras, they'll switch over into there. We'll look at them. But until then.
Do we know what they're getting as a reward?
We do know. They don't. It's a surprise.
Okay, I'll save it for later then.
Yeah, don't worry. All will be revealed, just like President Clancy was revealed as the true ghost of TU.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was reality. Rest in peace, even though he's not dead. But, all right. We'll see you guys soon. Catch you on the other side.
Welcome back. We are checking in on our pumpkin carving. Holgen, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. So far, my pumpkin is almost done. All I have to do is finish up the finer details, like getting the rest of the pumpkin guts out of the eyes, and then after that, we're gonna be all good.
Do you think you're gonna win?
Brother, I think I have a good chance of winning, but there are also some, stiff competitors out there, so I wish them luck, but I think I have a pretty good chance.
All right. We'll check in with you later. Cowboy, how's it going?
Pretty good. We've got some teeth.
We got some teeth. That is correct.
We've got some teeth. I do love dentistry.
Yes.
How do you think your chances are with the competition?
I really don't know. I seriously don't know. But you know what? I did give him teeth, so even if I don't win, at least I gave him a chance at life.
That's correct. Good job. Dr. Eggman, how are we doing?
Garfield is almost done, I would say.
Garfield's almost done?
I'm trying to get the last of his stripes done, but unfortunately I keep breaking all the knives.
We're coming down to the wire here.
I think he'll be okay.
You think he'll be okay?
Yeah.
What do you feel about the other two contestants? This is
they're-
confidential, by the way.
They're so strong. I don't think I got a chance, dude.
Strong words. All right. We will check in with them later, and then we will get to our judging. See you guys.
Screaming the whole way down, Carter's life flashed before his eyes as he bitterly uttered,
I should have just drove.
But right before he hit the bottom, he began to levitate, and suddenly 100 red dim lights rolled straight towards his airbound body. Carter was too stunned to speak as he watched Bot 666 inch closer and closer.
Carter, I bet you are wondering why you are here in the Beat Boot Bus lair.
Carter's voice cracks as he frightenedly responds,
Yes,
to which Foodbot exclaims,
you have been chosen to represent the Foodbot Collective on behalf of the human population, friend. But why?
Carter cries. Foodbot smiles.
Because you are the biggest consumer of the Foodbot services. By a lot. So you need us. If you ever want to eat late night candy again.
Carter takes a pause, looks straight into the eyes of 666, deviously grins, and replies,
Where do I sign up?
And welcome back. So let's discuss, Joe.
There are quite a few. I'm going to try to take away the Hulk Hogan impression from my judgment because it truly is a great impression. Shout out to Glenn for doing that. No, Hulk Hogan.
I was about to say, what do you mean Hulk Hogan impression? That is Hulk Hogan.
I just ruined his identity. I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, I think right now my two front runners are the middle, the little cat, little looking thing, and then Jason Voorhees.
For me, it's really between the cat, the middle cat, because
Yeah.
it reminds me of like the vintage, like 70s cat for Halloween stuff, like you know those kind of like the little
black
pumpkin
cat,
heads,
yeah.
little black cat.
Yeah.
Or I really like the Garfield. Joe does not like the Garfield as much.
I think I need to get a closer look at it. Once they come in here and we get to show them off and get a closer look, I think we'll be able to judge it a little bit better. But yeah, I think all of our contestants have done a really good job. A lot of great detail, a lot of hard work and passion have been put into our pumpkins.
They look great. I'm really excited.
I
I'm
agree.
ready to bring them in, it seems, right?
I believe so. Do we get to light them, or are we going to shut off all the lights? And
We
if
don't have
only.
candles. It's a little scary to bring fire in. All
And
right,
here
contestants.
they come. I think they
We're waiting for one more.
Oh.
All right, come forward. Come present your pumpkins. You can come in front of us.
Yes. Do I get to hold one? I won't drop it, I promise.
Okay, perfect. Scooch over a little more, Hulk. Okay, show those babies off. Perfect. All righty, we have our 3 pumpkins. Joe, are we in agreement about our winner?
I think we are. Do we need to do a drum roll?
I think we need a drum roll. And the winner is Claire Wintle. Thank you. All right, Claire. Would you like to see? Would you like to see your prize?
Yeah, why not?
Another pair of TUTV sweatpants.
Yes. These are not for sale.
Not for sale, limited only.
Join TUTV to get a pair.
Pumpkin in the pants?
Yeah, you can put the pumpkin in the pants. Okay. Alrighty, everybody, that is the end of our Halloween live stream. If everyone could come on stage and be recognized for what they have done, come on, come on.
On screen, off screen, I'm out of shot.
Okay, pumpkins, have a seat on the front so we can see everybody. You guys can fill in the back. Is this everybody?
We got 2 bananas. Was it planned? I'm not sure. It was not?
Planned.
That's even better.
2 bananas.
Betty and Laurel, we can't see you. You're not on screen.
We got space
Yeah,
in the front.
go in front. Go in front of the pumpkin people. Get in on there.
Come on, they need to see us.
We need to see everybody.
All of our viewers, they need to see us. Come on.
Kylie, come back.
Alrighty. Well, from all of our crew and our on-screen and off-screen talent, thank you for joining us.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. And for our 2023 fall live stream, we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye. Keep waving.